BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This video is one that I wasn't planning on filming, and it's something that was a complete surprise to me. To give a little background about what I'm going to be talking about today, you see from the title what it is. So back in July, this past July the 9th to be exact, I went to a screening of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original 1974 classic, Tobe Hooper film, and had the honor of meeting Edwin Neal, who played the hitchhiker, and John Dugan, who played Grandpa. This was put on by Love Horror and Sinister Creature Con, my friend Brian Jones, a gentleman that I've known for a number of years, ever since pretty much since the beginning of the Sinister Creature Con. That was a great event, and I did, a video on it on the channel. I did some filming of the Q&A sessions with John and Edwin, and I talked about that in August 6th and 7th, there was going to be a couple things I was going to. One was going to be a showing of the Boris Karloff classic film, The Mummy, that his daughter was going to be attendance at the Orinda Theater, and that's where I saw the screening of Monster Go Home with my friend John Russell last year. And then on the following day, on the 7th, I was going to be going to Creatures Con, which was a small horror convention coming back to my area, and I was going to be going to that. And it was going to be featuring another Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise alumni, Bob Elmore. Now, Bob Elmore is credited in the film Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the 1986 follow-up to the 1974 classic, as being a stunt person, but he is Leatherface through the majority of the film. It's very similar to what happened with Friday the 13th Part 2 and Warrington Gillette and Steve Dash. Warrington Gillette was listed as Jason in that film and took credit for all of the work. And the same thing happened between Bob Elmore and Bill Johnson. That's all I want to go into about that. But I was really excited to meet another actor from the franchise because he would have been the only Leatherface actor I would have met. I'd never met Gunnar Hansen, unfortunately, and he passed away in 2015. I haven't met Andrew Bernarski, which I haven't heard very good things about him, but I would still like to meet him because I'm a big fan of those Platinum Dunes films. And Mark Burnham, who is the new Leatherface from the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out this year, I'd like to meet him as well. I was really excited to meet this iconic actor who played one of my favorite horror film characters. But unfortunately, my family suffered a really tragic event this past week. We lost a family member. My wife's grandfather, Carl, passed away. He passed away on the 3rd, Wednesday the 3rd of this month. And I was actually, if you guys have watched some of my content, like on Instagram and my video where I showcased the novelization tie-in for the upcoming Salem's Lot remake, I was out of town. I was actually in Auburn and Roseville area on a job, and I got a call from my wife that it happened. It's been a really hard time for it's been a really hard time for my wife's family, my family. It's just been a really difficult time. And because of that, I decided not to go to any of these events this past weekend. It just didn't seem right, and I wasn't in the headspace to go to it. And I had talked to a few of my friends, that I was going to be there. And like my friend Brian Henderson from Forever Midnight, my good friend John Russell, and then also Brian Jones. They all knew that I was going to be there, and Brian Jones had let me know in advance that he reps Bob Elmore, and he was going to be, there, and that he would be at Bob's table. So I let all of them know I wasn't going to go, and just let them know ahead of time that it was due to a family tragedy, and I just didn't have the opportunity to go. And yesterday we were at a family function. I'm recording this on Monday, August 8th. And yesterday we were at a family function, just everybody getting together. It's the first time the whole family had been together since everything happened last Wednesday. And I got and the con was going on, and Brian reached out to me, and he just took me aback for a second because I was like, am I reading this right? Because it really was something unexpected and something that really meant a lot to me. And again, I have a hard time with things like this because I don't feel I deserve it. But he asked me what I wanted Bob to sign for me. Now, I'm just saying this like I didn't ask for anything. And Brian's known me for a number of years. But I said that he didn't have to do that, but they wanted to. So I actually got 2 autographed items from Bob Elmore, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, as a gift, and I was able to meet up with Brian. Once the convention had concluded, we were able to meet up in a close location, and he gave me these 2 items, and I'm completely taken aback by it, and it still hasn't really sunk in that I got these. And I tried to record a video last night, but I just wasn't in the right headspace. But I don't know what I did to deserve it, but all I can say is thank you, Mr. Elmore. Thank you, Brian. You guys are amazing, and it was just like I said, these are gifts, yeah, I don't know what I did to deserve them, but it really meant a lot to me, and it's been a really hard week. So this just was something completely unexpected, and I couldn't be more grateful. And yeah, Mr. Elmore, thank you. Brian, thank you. And I will showcase these off. I do need to get a frame for the picture. Temporarily, I got a small mini poster and an autographed picture. They asked me which ones I wanted, and I just picked out the picture, but then Bob signed something else for me as well. So I didn't pick out the poster, but the poster is fantastic. It's actually the artwork from the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. I put it in this for right now, so it's in this little sleeve that I got with another poster when I went to Sinister Creature Con back in June, and I bought the Creepshow poster and the Alfred Hitchcock poster. I got one. They all came with these, so I just stuck it in this one for right now. But I do want to get a frame for this. And it's funny because Brian was telling me he told Bob, I don't know where he's going to put this stuff, because I guess they watched one of my videos and saw that, you know, my rooms are pretty packed, especially this one. If you can see behind me, I'm very, very quickly, or not quickly, I've been doing this for a long time, I'm out of wall space, but I might be able to squeeze this one into the Horror Zone Lounge. But as you can see right there, I will showcase these up closer. Right there is my name, and there's Bob Elmore's signature. And I actually, it's sort of funny because I am doing I'm going to be doing a ranking of all these films, and after getting these, I decided to pop in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 again. I haven't watched it in a number of years, and I actually watched it twice. So yeah, I can't wait to do that video, but this is just fantastic. And the picture I chose, now I have a poster of it on my ceiling. I've had that poster probably since 2010. I think that's when I got it. If I remember correctly, it was an eBay auction. It took forever to get here. I remember I was like flipping out when I ordered it, because that's when I was kind of building this room. Back in 2009, 2010, I was starting to sort of lay the foundation for what you see before you. I remember that picture took forever to show up. And that is from, if I remember correctly, that was from a 1988 People magazine shoot where they got Bob, Robert Englund as Freddy, Kane Hodder as Jason, and George Wilbur as Michael Myers. And he signed a picture to me right here. And what was fantastic about this is, even though I didn't unfortunately get to meet Bob in person, Brian did say he's going to try to see if he can get him to some upcoming cons in the area. But you know, I have met all of the other actors. I did meet George Wilbur in 2017. I did meet Kane Hodder in 2014, and I met Robert Englund in 2015. So, you know, this is just fucking amazing, and I've always loved this picture. And I remember that as a kid. That was like, you know, again, horror was very different in the 80s. As much as, you know, people love those movies now, and I absolutely adore them because I grew up with them, but it wasn't as readily available. So when things like this would pop up in a very, you know, commercialized, you know, kind of, you know, magazine that everybody bought. People magazine was a huge magazine in the 80s and 90s too. And to see something like this that was very genre based show up in that magazine was amazing to me. And I believe I took the article or took the picture out of the magazine, but I don't know what happened. It got lost over the years. But to have this really, really is just amazing. And like I said, this is just a big thank you to Mr. Bob Elmore, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I do need to get that Scream Factory Blu-ray. In fact, I'm looking online because it is out of print right now, so I am trying to find a place that sells it pretty reasonably. But yeah, I love this film, and I'm grateful to Mr. Bob Elmore and my friend Brian Jones. Thank you both so much for this. It really meant a lot to me. It was a completely unexpected thrill to get that message. I will spin the camera around now so you can check out these autographed pictures. Thanks so much again for stopping by, and stay tuned for some really great horror content I have coming up real soon. So take it easy, stay scared as always. just want to say thank you again for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always.